Hey guys, welcome to the return of Truck Series Racing to OMA. We are returning in huge fashion with a big field size on our hands, and we are starting the season where I should say every series should start Daytona International Speedway. Now, since you've won the last OMA sanctioned race here at Daytona on NASCAR Heat, why don't you walk us through uh, things we got to look out for and the race info?
Yeah, so obviously it's Daytona. It's probably gonna be single file for a little bit, but that's kind of how it just really works here at Daytona. Your friends are where you find them with your teammates. You got to make a run at the right time. Uh, but yeah, so it should be a very fun event tonight. We got almost 20 people racing or so, and some leeches. It's a very stacked field. It'll be 50%, so it'll be 50 laps. Halfway is 25. Obviously, if you've been here for a while, you know there's no black flags. But yeah, so let's get started with the lineup if you'd like to do that in race control.
So yes, the lineup will start as such on the pole. Um, we do have Landon Lauterbach in the 98. And starting beside him is Vincenzo Iacovazzi. Following that row is Colin Teague and King Jr., Chad Eastwan and Striff, Eddie Kaleki and Mazzelli Jr., Kukulon and Stover. Down to you, Lyle.
And then for the next row, we got Victor Imbassiani and MJ Cerullo. Then we have Ryan Miniker and Hector Garcia making another return to the OMA in the Truck Series. Then we have Jose Perez coming back again as well with Vincent Di Pizzo. Then we have Robbie Keach, and rounding out the field with that is our own Sammy Marasco.
Well, a 17 truck field, and it should be an exciting one. Some notable driver changes before heading into this race. Sebastian Kukulon taking over for Brad, or was supposed to take over Brad Silver. I heard that before, but they're both in the field, so my apologies on that. Also the lobby is going up. But who do you have your eyes on, Lyle? Before starting this race, I certainly got two guys. Who are the two guys you think the fans at home should look out for?
Um, well, my pick to win tonight could be anyone. But if we do have Casey Massa racing, at the end of this, I think he's a great pick for this. I don't know if he's actually racing yet because I haven't heard much from him, but he won the last truck opener here at Daytona for VNet Season 7, being out Tim Moore. But since Casey Master is not on the field tonight, I'd have to go with Chad Swan. He's one of the best at Daytona. I feel like can just really maneuver any line of draft at Daytona. Just go with the run. But yeah, so there's Eastwan, and I think another person you might want to look out for is Sebastian Coupon.
Well, I'm gonna go two different directions here. Now, my number one is Vincenzo Iacovazzi. He's a well-known restrictor plate racer in the OMA. Has won races at plate tracks before, especially at Daytona. And I'm also gonna have to go a little bit bold with my other pick here. He won Talladega last season in
Mhm.
VRC when it was still on Heat, and now it's on iRacing. But Ryan Miniker, he was there at
Oh,
the end of the VRC Endurance, the final Heat race there. He was inside the top 10 racing up front. He won Talladega prior. I just see Ryan on a roll, and he is my win pick for tonight.
that is a very good pick. Yeah, Ryan Miniker, he's always been good at the super speedways. Usually, he's always got that good help behind him where he goes out lonesome, and it usually works out. He was the good top three. Yeah, I think a win is definitely possible for Ryan tonight.
And I wouldn't count him out at all. Ryan should be a uh, again. Ryan has a lot of friends in this field, and that's hard to say having friends in the field when you're battling against everyone you're coming up with. But Ryan really doesn't make any enemies. He's one of the few drivers that really doesn't show a temper, purposely wreck people. He's very kind of letting people out the way, but at these super speedways, those guys pay him back with a ton of respect, and that's how he's always at the front. He knows he can trust the guy pushing behind him, and the guy working right in front of him. So I think Ryan is the guy to look out for. That's just my opinion on that one. Ryan is I can't emphasize how good of a plate racer he is.
Yeah, and update on Casey Master. He's not racing tonight. He will be an official. So another little change. Jiggy Haverty is out sick tonight, so we got Sammy Marasco filling in for him. But yeah, so tonight is the return of Heat 5 on OMA. It's been, a good while since we last had an event here, but because we had, the end of the season, then we had the power out, not the power outage, the server outage for Heat 5. It was gone for a month, but then it came back in the midst of our new plans. But we're bringing the Truck Series back, and it should be a very fun event tonight.
It should be a fun event indeed. Uh, the last time we've ever kind of raced um, any sort of truck series affiliated with OMA, that was back on here a couple seasons ago on the when I was streaming it on the Jade Sports network. That was in XDRA, the Xbox Truck Racing Association. And if I do recall, um, Tim Moore did come home the winner in there. So we don't have we don't have Tim Moore in the field, but the guy who finished right behind him um, is also on this field. So forget anything I'm saying. But again, Tim Moore has been your previous winner. So Leach was your previous winner. Um, some top five finisher that race, however, was Eddie Kalegi. He was running top five. So if you're looking for someone there, Eddie Kalegi is your guy. He in the last Truck Series race, he was up front and he almost won that thing. So yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're just waiting to get the lobby started. Um, I'm gonna kind of give you the race rundown. So 50 laps, halfway, start at lap 25. Tire wear is on 1X, so normal tire wear. Pace speed 60, draft settings normal, and black flags off. Caution rules. On the first lap, half the field must wreck after the first lap of the start or restart. It will be 3-car yellows. All restarts will be in the restart zone. Officials will be given the on-track penalties. And for pit road, you need to enter by coming off the pits off of turn 4, stay in the inside line, and you have to signal down the back straightaway. There is no passing under the yellow line down the back straightaway. So a lot of people have been called on that last season for VNS and VRC. So that's gonna be one thing to watch throughout this whole race. You have to make sure you don't pass underneath the apron, and if you are forced down there, you have to hope that you were actually forced down there. You cannot make any mistakes, or you could find yourself being parked.
You can't risk a penalty in a 50-lap race. If it's in the first half, you get halfway. So not the worst thing in the world to get your lap back. But yeah, don't get penalized tonight. You don't want that. It's only a truck race, so it shouldn't be that hard. But yeah. So everyone I think is in the lobby. But before we get rolling with that, just to mention, the truck series last time, it was called TMG, back in 2019. But there are some drivers in here who won in there a few times that are actually in this race tonight. All-time wins leader is Vincenzo Acquavazzi, who has 8 wins, and he's in here tonight, as well as, was going to be Galen Downey with 3, but he didn't get in. His lobbies went up, but we have a random, so we'll get that sorted away. Then we have Eddie Kalegi with 1 win. He's also in here. MJ Cirillo with that infamous Pocono win. His only win in OMA, but it came here a few years ago. And then we have Ryan Maker. So yeah, so we got some OGs racing it back in the truck series for OMA. It's gonna be, like we said, very exciting, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this will all play out.
And you mentioned guys who have previously raced in TMG, but some guys who I want to mention that have raced in Extra, we do have some previous champions in the field. Once Galen Downey gets in, Galen Downey would be a champion. He would be one of the champions in Extra. Your all-time wins leader for XTRA is Parker Ness. If I'm not mistaken, he is also in the field tonight.
Yeah, and he'll be an official. I don't think he's actually racing
Oh,
tonight, as
well,
well as Casey Masters. So
he is at least at the track, and
yeah,
the highest win count of the drivers racing from the Extra Truck Racing Association is Colin Teague. So the Colin Teague has the most wins of any driver racing with 5. And the person that has who is currently 45th on the wins list was Eddie Kalegi is also in the field. So just an
all right.
interesting stat to know.
I think they're random left, so you can join in. They're on the track right now, but yeah. So Vincenzo, Akavazi, Gallon Downey are previous champions. I don't know if Gallon's actually in here right now. Oh no, they are leaving. Okay, never mind. Don't join. They are leaving. But yeah, so we got some previous champions in here. Previous extra champions, Colin Teague. Colin Teague, who had a great final season of extra heat racing and what was it, the AM extra AM series. Dominated that season, won the championship, and so yeah, it's gonna be a great start of the season here. I'm not sure if Colin Teague's full time or not, but most of these guys will be leeches in this season. But that will probably make it all the better with the amount of racing we'll have with these trucks.
And again, the reason we are backing out, for those who don't know, we have a one lag out restart rule. So if one person lags out off the start, they will reset the lobby, and that's our one restart. So the person who lagged out was Jose Perez. So we're going to get everyone back in the lobby once more. You're going to have to wait a little bit, but I guarantee you waiting this long is going to be worth it.
Yeah, it always happens here when we have a random join or something happens, something comes up. Usually that one lag out or rule, whatever, it comes in pretty handy.
Definitely. But as we are looking at race control, they're getting the lobby back up. Sammy Marasco is now hopping in the truck. Driver is MIA. No word on if he's racing, so Sammy Marasco will be in the 4 truck for tonight. So he will switch from the 16 to the 4 before we begin this race.
Yeah, and I think that is Halferty. I'm not entirely sure about that. But I hope Halferty feels better for next week. He's a good driver. Would be nice, to have a huge field for next week, so we want him to get better. But yeah, so we're about to get rolling with within probably like a minute or two. So stay tuned.
But more things to look for in the future. If any of you guys are interested in joining the Online Motorsport Association, VRC is going iRacing. Should be exciting. Their first race is on April 29th, Saturday night at 8:30. If you're interested in Forza, OTC has opened back up. Switch from PC2 to Forza Motorsport 7. First race has already begun, but it's not too late to join. We're going to race at the Homestead Miami Road Course tomorrow. Also tomorrow, make sure to tune in to come back here and tune in later because VHS, the Virtual Heat Series, is going to make its debut under a brand new name. Previously VNS, now it's the Top Heat Series in OMA, and they're also racing at Daytona tomorrow night. I won't be streaming it, but I do know Victor Imbisani and Sammy Marasco will be the 2 to watch there. I will personally be in the field subbing. So it should be an exciting race at its finest as we are finally on the racetrack and trucks are starting to roll off.
Just to know, Sammy is racing tomorrow, because he's full time. Victor's in, so he's also racing. It's gonna be Jonathan Amadio, who's not racing, that will be streaming most of the season. As Evil Within 777, capital E, capital W, no spaces. Should be yeah, catch him on Twitch. It should be a fun show. We'll have a massive field tomorrow. I think it's gonna be like 30 cars. We got Tim Moore, got all the greats of OMA racing on heat. For now, we'll be here at Daytona with the Truck Series. but I think it'll be equally as a good show as tomorrow night.
Most definitely, and it's a longer race, and I would say more drivers that have proven themselves in the past. So you're gonna see more complex driving style, much more strategy as these drivers start to file up going into turn one.
Yeah, it's really good to see the trucks back here in the OMA Daytona. Truck series has always been a classic for this league for as long as I can remember. Always just I feel like there's always been, regardless of who's racing in the car, it's just the truck. It's always been just a lot more chaotic and memorable. There's so many good moments in the truck series. But yeah, so again, we're bringing it back tonight. It's gonna be a fantastic show. Um, but moving on from that, I don't think we will be having too much fuel strategy at all tonight. I mean, I just feel like there's gonna be a few cautions, a few big ones.
It should be a one-stop whole way through. So pretty simple strategy. You're just gonna kind of run it till halfway, head there. There is some strategy, however, if you want to gamble. For those who want to gamble, and let's say we have an early caution before the guaranteed caution at halfway, you can try to pit, stay out during the halfway caution, and get the lead. But again, you're going to need friends to be up there with you. That's for sure,
Yeah.
as I think we are leaving again. I think we might have a random in the field.
Yeah, Parker is gonna make a private lobby. Randoms keep joining, so that's fun. Uh, we don't usually make private lobbies in this league, so if you were
Well,
screaming at the screen, wondering why we didn't have a private lobby, I mean, we just don't usually do that. So, but yeah, fortunately got a random that joined.
well, hey, uh, first official points race back on. He and Parker and S is a little rusty getting people out the lobby. So, I mean, what can you expect? I mean, that's what you're gonna
Yeah,
get. A lot of NASCAR Heat. It's become more and more popular, believe it or not, with NASCAR Ignition not being the game it was presumed to be.
apologies for the wait. This wasn't entirely expected. I mean, I kind of expected it, but not twice. So it'll just take a moment. Parker will invite uh, us, hopefully, when the lobby rolls. If he doesn't, that's not gonna be good. I'll make sure to remind him real quick. But yeah, so while we're just chilling out here for a moment, there is something to note. If you are a new viewer or whatnot to the OMA for the Truck Series this season, it's going to be a good show. But here is this official schedule, if you aren't aware, for this season. For season 4, Sports Speed Truck Series, we got Daytona, obviously, as a starter. Then we go to Iowa Speedway. Actually, I will be at that race, so it'll be all yours for that week, Jeffrey. Then we have Watkins Glen, Charlotte Motor Speedway, Talladega, Pocono, Bristol, which is going to be certainly quite interesting. And then we have Dover for trucks, also an interesting track. Then we have Michigan and Phoenix, and the finale, race 11, is Las Vegas. So it's going to be from this day all the way to August 17th of this year. So it's going to be a great season. I honestly cannot tell you who I think is going to win the championship. I mean, I don't even know if it's full time actually, but still, it's going to be a great season.
Well, I will list
For
your
the sport
full-time
series.
drivers, Landon, Lyle. Um,
Oh,
so starting off your full-time drivers, we of course have one of the best in any kind of truck he gets in. Colin Teague, Brad Stover is running full-time, and Vincenzo Iacovazzi. That's your Ohio River Racing roster. As for oh, sorry. As for McGinnis, Landon Lauterbach, and Eddie Kalegi will run full time. OCM, Orion Miniker, and Hector Garcia Ohio River Racing, as we just went over. Mid-State will just have Justin Striff. Full-time Team Boogies will have Jaden Hafferty and Billy King Jr. Mazzelli Family Racing will only have Luca Mazzelli Jr. No U Motorsports will have Christian Whiting. Gavin Hutchbeth Racing will have Robbie Keach. All in or spin Jonathan West. As for the part-time drivers, Imbasani and Jolene Sims split the 13 from McGinnis. Perez will be part-time in the 74 for OCM. Stover will be part-time for ORR. Mid-State will be part-time for Andrew Miller. No U Motorsports will have select VHS drivers. And Gavin Hutchbeth will be part-time for Hutchbeth Racing. And all inner spin will have Yakavazi, Michelle Raphael, and Mateo Malou, hopefully I said that correctly, will be part-time for all inner spin. And
Yeah, so
out of that
that's
group,
sorry, but that is gonna be a very stacked field. I think. Well, actually, now I'm looking at it. You can see that Sammy Rasco in the 4. That's for Christian Whiting tonight instead of Jaden Halperty. So that's his 16. Christian Whiting though, he I think he's only in one DNS start at Phoenix, and he was in the top 3 for a good while until I think something occurred. But Christian Whiting, from what I've seen, is one of the best, one of the fastest out there. I think he's certainly faster. I think he could be near, I think he could be near like Vincenzo, Iacobazzi, Giorgio level if I saw more out of him. But he's going to be very fast this season if he does do the full season. And that along with guys like Jaden Hafferty, Colin Teague, Vincent DiPizzo, maybe even Hector Garcia, and then Landon Laudenbach. It's going to be a stacked field for a good season.
most definitely. And while we're just waiting here, my championship pick, um, I'm gonna have to go with actually, not Landon Laudenbach. I'm gonna have to go with Colin Teague for my championship pick.
That is a very good pick. Colin Teague, obviously, if you saw him in Extra AM Season 3, you would know that he was, obviously, he won the title. He was one of the fastest. I think he got, like, I don't know, more than, like, 5 wins, probably. So, yeah, I mean, he was one of the best. I think a championship is definitely possible for Teague this season, depending on who races which race. Because, not everyone, I mean, it's Thursdays, but not everyone can make every race, so... Yeah, I think that's a very good solid pick, Jeffrey.
Most definitely. As we are still waiting for the race to get under way. If you're looking for more racing, I forgot to mention this one series. IFC is racing at the Red Bull Ring in Austria this weekend. Should be an exciting one. Jarrett Talmadge has built a lot of momentum over the past few races, getting multiple wins. However, Colin Teague was able to take the last win at Imola. As for Sebastian Kugelon, your previous champion, for the first time ever, he is out of the top 4. So, early worries for him and his team. Can he come back? Make sure to tune in with Landon Lyle for that race this week, or this Saturday at 6 o'clock. It should be an exciting one. And yeah, that's all the series the Online Motorsports Association runs.
Yeah. I don't know what track we're running for IFC tomorrow. Should be a good one. I don't actually know the schedule at all, in all honesty, but we're almost at a third of this season, so yeah. If you like F1, want to tune in IFC, I'll be there every Saturday at 6 p.m. I got an invite for MJ and Luca. Okay, there we go.
But a quick rundown for you. Let's go through previous champions since this is our first time back. Jacob York was your season 1 Truck Series champion under the OMA name, and then that season after it was called Kenyon's Graphics Truck Series, we moved to the well-known name of TMG Truck Series, where Gallon Downey won season 2. Gallon Downey, the only person to win a championship in both Truck Series, both XCRA and TMG. After that, the next season, Vincenzo Iacovazzi won the Season 3 TMG Truck Series Championship, and that leads us to where we are now, the 4th season of Truck Series Racing under the Online Motorsports Association. Who's going to win Season 4? We've had different champions in the last 3 series, and currently 2 of those are in the field tonight. It should be an exciting one we got on our hands under the lights at Daytona. One-stop strategy, remember, as the field's getting filed. 1 pace lap to start the race, and I can guarantee you this time around that we did not get a random that we have to back out for. But Lyle, why don't we run back through the field once more? And let's kind of remind everyone, in case you guys forgot, where every truck is starting. I will start with top 10 while you get the rest. Starting on pole, Landon Laudenbach in the 98. After that, Yakobazi in the 50, coming just short in the VRC endurance race. After that, Colin Teague is in the 02 for the Ohio River Racing. Then Billy King Jr., Chad Eastwan, Striff, Kalegi, Mazzelli Jr., Kukalon, and Stover are your top 10.
I think Brad Stover, what I mentioned him there, I think he's the one to start in the back. I'm not too sure about that. That's what he's in the chat. But on row 6, we've got Victor and Bastiani and MJ Cirillo. Then the 54 of Miniker and Hector Garcia, and the 88 on row 7. Row 8 is Cody Perez in the 74 and the 1 of Vincent Pizzo. And then 17th and 18th, riding out the field, we've got the 68 of Roddy Keach and the 4 of Timmy Marasco, stubbing for Christian Whiting.
And as the field gets lined up, we're going to go this time. Ford and Chevrolet make up the front row. And as we look through the field, we see the all too famous Flex Seal 99 return under the lights full time this season. I know there's a lot of Eggy Leggy fans. Speaking of Eddie Leggy, make sure to check out our sponsor, SportsBeat. They release a weekly podcast on any type of sports that you like, and including racing, to baseball, to the National Football League, and all around a very good podcast that you started off in those sports with experts Eddie Leggy and more. But we've reached the restart zone. Green flag is out, and the Truck Series is finally returned to OMA. Landon Laudenbach leads us out of the triangle.
We are underway, and the inside didn't really go that much there with the east one. I believe that's 56 Kugelon from coming out of the inside from behind, so we went up to P3 already. The bottom should be the dominant lane. Lots of whittling trucks on the apron, so we can get all that sorted out very quickly.
Now the 50 and the 18 trucks trying to make an outside lane work as more and more trucks are getting behind it. About 4 trucks are lined up in file on the outside line. They're trying to make it work. They're starting to gain momentum. Now here comes I'm pretty sure that's the 39 looking into the wall. He's going to ruin the momentum. And here comes Colin Teague. He's trying to look for a way past. Drivers are scattering down the apron. 1 car around, that's the 54. As that will not bring out a yell, that was only lap 1.
Brad Silver and Ryan Miniker are involved in this. Look at Mazzelli, too wide with the look, and then just even made a move. It wasn't going to work to get the wall. And then that caused a pull. That will not be a caution, unfortunately, for those two. Well, puck away halfway. Roddy Keach back there making a too wide move. Close call for him. 68. But yeah, it's only lap 1. I mean, it's 2 laps, so again, not too much time, but it's very start of the race, so you want to get yourself acclimated and not be all hectic. But do what you want, I guess. It is the Truck Series.
Well, now the 99 and the 13, those 2 teammates finally found each other on the inside line and is trying to get to their other teammate. The 98 of Landon Laudenbach, who is currently leading this race. Landon has been able to hold off everyone for now, but here comes the 54 to the outside line. 13 looks, decides to stay with his team owner, looks again, trying to get back in line. That's going to be 3 McGinnis cars inside the top 5 at the moment. 1 car all the way down the apron. He's able to save it. And now he's back. Good save by MJ Cirillo. Now if I was Collins, you got to be worried here. You see teammates right behind you, right in front of you. You gotta hope for help. Your nearest teammate now for Colin T is Vincenzo Yakta, or not Vincenzo, sorry, Vincent Pizzo. All the way at the back of this pack now, trying to make something work with the 50.
I gotta go for it.
And now the 98 is in turn 1. Still leading this race, trying to fend off Colin T. As now the outside line is trying to get another run at it. Down the back straightaway. We're starting to get a little civil here. We 2 clear lines. 3 Fords inside the top 4. The 50 trying to make something work on the outside line. He can't. In line behind him is Vincent Pizzo. He is trying just to try to get up there and help his teammate. Now, as we see the Toyota, the 51, he's backing up, or sorry, the 54. Backing up, trying to get something to work here.
Ooh.
He gets closed off by the run. Just kind of stalled down back on the inside line. And now marks 3 Toyotas on the inside line behind the 2 Fords. As now
they're
there's
trying
3
to get
wide.
on the outside here, landing a lot of buttons on the back. I guess that's, interesting for a move, but Victor Massiani almost tried to block Vincenzo Iacobacci right there. But now you got Vincenzo with a big run on the outside, and it's really working right now. It's got Eddie Kalecki and the 99 on the outside. Doesn't really work out on the outside right there.
Now Landon Lauterbach trying to break this grasp for lap prior. But that's what sent him to the back. Is under the apron. The 87 somehow saves. Miraculous save by him. Now it's a Chevy Ford Toyota 123 on the inside line. But here comes the 13. He's trying to make a run on the outside line. He has it side by side. Now Eddie Kalecki moves up. He's joining his teammate. They're being pushed, shoved on the outside line. Now there's 3 wide. And the 99 has lost all the momentum he just gained. Colin T is now going to bring up the 51 to the front of the pack. And now Colin T going out wide trying to break the grab.
That's not going to show it out of the pack there. And now everyone's going to go see the file. So if we're on the top right now, I'm probably going to be missing out and going to the back of that pack. But
I got to disagree. They got to run out of nowhere, Lyle. While they're single filing up, if they just get enough cars like they showed last time, like they are right now, they're going to catch back up. Colin T is too much of a lead right now that he's just going to be ran down and they're just going to blow right by him. Colin T's actually helping that outside line grow, slowly but surely giving track. 3 cars decide to make the gamble. Starting with Eddie Kalecki, he's being pushed by the 50, and behind him the 68 in contact. Contact with the 56.
Tom gets it back there to Hecker, C-Rex, and has a huge on the outside with Chatty's 1. And the 18 of Billy King Jr. with a run with Vincent Pizzo on the outside. Vincent and East One are friends, so they work together quite well. We're down to the bottom. Now East One will take the lead.
Now East One
will take 51 car.
Yes, East One will take the lead with the help of the 51. The Pizzo again, he's just been able kind of stick in line. He made moves early to get where he's at. He actually is one of the ones who started the outside line with the 50, and now he's able to get up to 3rd. Eddie Kalecki now tries to block the run. He thought there's a run happening. It does not. He's going to get shuffled out of line. Now the 13, he's getting help from Mazzelli. They're looking to the outside. Tucks back in and tucks back out. He's swerving all over, trying to find some sort of room to get by the Colin T. Further back, the 50 still stuck in the outside line. He started off as your outside pole sitter, and now he has fallen all the way to the back of the pack.
Yeah, they're all sitting in a line now, and I think Vincenzo's going to try to pull a run here and go with some guys on the outside. Hopefully he wants that to work, so we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, there you go. You see him with Sammy Marasco making a big move on the top, but only 2 drivers. But if they can get one more person to pull up from the top, maybe they can get a big run and it'll work out.
Yeah, again, runs were a matter. kind of the distinguishing part of it. As we have a run right now, Colin T to the outside line. We saw him drift back there a little bit, but they're not going to have the momentum to get anything done. Led by Colin T. We haven't seen him on to the outside lane so far. Help from Imisani and Mazzelli, and here comes the 50 of Yakabazi. A lot of chaos on the outside.
Wildly stupid move there, running the very, very high lane, exiting corner.
Well,
I don't lose all that speed.
Well, it wasn't his doing. He didn't get forced up there, so yeah, I don't think he wanted to be 3 wide. He just got forced up there in the first place. Now, single file all around the bottom. Nice and neat, and let's see how long these riders keep it there, because so far they really haven't. And look at Mazzelli's peeking, he's peeking, trying to see if a move will work. The outside line has a few more people. The Yakabazi leads it once again. Looks like Laudenbach is also looking to get something done around the outside. Jose Perez looks to join. They tuck all back down on the inside line, and out the 4-truck breakaway at the front.
Victor is on a whole big run here. And Nicker movement on the outside with a 13, but he gets no help. So that ain't gonna work out. Gonna back down to the bottom. And off this corner, I would say that pink guy of Vincenzo is gonna move. And it does,
contact.
But 30 hits the apron.
13 into the 56, into the 50. Slows down the momentum for the time being that they had back there. And now the 13 is going to cut to the outside line. No help whatsoever. He's going to just try to see if anyone's willing to go with him. No, the 50 decides he's going to push Colin T. Luke Mazzelli, will he try to go? He'll let the 13 in line. And again, back to single file. That's the name of the game. Jose Perez, the only one out to the outside at this time, has a couple of spots. The 4 joins him on the outside, but he should get too much done, and the 13 hits the apron. He gets shuffled out of line. 3 wide for the time being. Mazzelli is going to make the move. 2 trucks hit the wall on the outside of 4. Everyone's kind of scattered, but they are still on track. What a save by everyone in this pack. And we're still able to go green. So while it's single file, it's still very chaotic. And again, the 56 truck of Mazzelli trying to make something work on the outside line. But again, those top 5 seem to be committed to each other. And the 13 throws a haymaker to Mazzelli on the outside. Now the top 5, top 4, a little bit of a breakaway here. And Yakabazi being the connected factor here.
So we're seeing a little bit of a trend here where a lot of these guys trying to run, like you see the 13 who made a 1-car run around the corner. Like, that's not going to work. You need a lot of help. And now the pack is all broken up. So unless they don't work together, they're probably not going to catch back up. So, you know, it's a bit of a struggle for these guys, especially Daytona, and the trucks is not as easy to work with. But yeah, so we'll see how the rest of this plays out. It is currently lap 15 of 25, so halfway is coming up. Got 9 to go.
And 9 to, and again, pretty straightforward here. You can gamble, maybe try to come down 2 tires stop, fuel only. And again, I think it's just a safer bet just to go all the way to halfway, pit, take your 4 tires, come back out. And I say if you want to take that gamble, you got to be in this front 6. This front 6 have pulled around, I would say, an 8-second gap on the field behind. That's really just due to that big checkup the 13 started. As you can see in the distance, 2 lappers coming out of 4. So everything's orderly for the time being, and I don't see anything to change. The lead pack just wants to kind of check out, kind of guarantee them a top 6 on the pack behind staying in line so they can catch this pack out front. So there's just going to be a dynamic between these 2 packs. And now the 51 again continues to lead. Help from the 18. your biggest mover so far is the one. So we saw him go from the front to the back to the front, and he's been the pusher of all the moves that have been made thus far.
Oh, and T gets a bit of a run on the bottom there on the Pizzo. So he's going to get third now. And now the 1 and the 50 are going to drop back to the front pack. Coming up with a few laps to go in the half. Unless they can pull run, I think East 1 definitely is going to win the stage, the half. Not a mistake.
I wouldn't count the 18 and the 02 out. I would say T has more people who are willing to work with him behind them than those who are willing to work with Chad Eastwan. Again, Chad Eastwan previous seasons have made a lot of enemies throughout his years of racing. So I think if you see a person like Colin Teague to the outside versus Chad Eastwan, the question is, okay, who will you push? I think they're going to be more on the preference of, you know what, Vincent has raced me more clean more times than anyone else. And I do want to point out that the combination of Pizzo and Teague is the only teammate combination in this lead pack. So if you're, I would just say at this moment that Chad Eastwan is really just a sitting duck. The driver behind him in the 18, as I'm trying to find, it's not on my roster list. However, as I'm trying to pull up the other race control, the 18 of Billy King Jr. I wouldn't guarantee that he's going to work with Eastbourne the rest of them. I would have my eyes more focused on the 02, 13, and 1 combination. And as we've seen with the 50, he's been working with Vincent already. So, again, I think it's too early to call.
Yeah. Billy King Jr. is pretty good for the especially Daytona. He was top 3 at the end of the Enduro last week. Don't know if he's going to work with Tico if they pull a run. So, we'll see what happens. I don't know, because I'm not these drivers. It's not too often where you see someone who always keeps making these wins that will always guarantee work at the end of the stage. It's kind of rare. So we'll see what happens at the end here. Coming to, I believe, 4 or 5 to go.
We're coming to 4 to go this time at the line, and these 2 lappers are going to be the defining factor to who wins the stage. Where are they going to go? They're currently racing side by side. If I was the 02 and 1, I would land this with your spotters. Okay, I see these 2 lappers in front of me. Do we want to try to take advantage and jump up to the outside line? You know the 50's going to work with the 1. He's been working with him the whole race. He's dropping back to get a run. If he pulls out, the 1's 100% going with him here. I don't see him not going with him. Now lap cars might change this factor. They're all the way to the wall. So if an outside line wants to be created, as he almost comes back down into the 50 of Biakabazi. If an outside line wants to get started, they got to start it now. As soon as they get past this lap car.
I think we'll call it with the lap cars. Brad Silver almost made an interesting move back down to the track on Vincenzo, but now it's 2 laps to go in the half. Chad Eastman still can be behind. I do not know who's gonna make the move at the end of this, but I think Conti might be the most likely, with just the history with moves. They went below the yellow line there for a minute. That was a bit odd.
And again, you cannot pass below the yellow line, so that's why if you see a truck going under there, it's either they have an issue and as they are pitting. So as I did say earlier, if you want to take the gamble, you can pit or now close. They just crossed the line. It's so interesting strategy on their part. Now Colin Teague will lead this pack with lap traffic ahead of him. He's going to pass the 4 onto the inside. That is going to be Sammy Marasco. So a little bit of strategy here. They decided, you know, most of those guys leading that pack are not running for points. They want to go for the win. They can afford going for the win, unlike Colin Teague, who is running for points. So Teague is going to stay out. He's going to get those much-needed halfway points. As now Victor and Bassani, who I would have thought would have went with that group since he's not a full-time driver, and the 50 would have pitted there last time. They did not. So. Again, interesting call. I would have kind of seen it differently, but looks like Colin Teague and Ryan Miniker, the two full-time guys in this pack, are going to get some much needed stage points to start this season.
And here comes Victor for the run in the 13 on the final lap of the stage to the outside. He can't block that. He got help from Vincenzo. With Ryan lap car behind. I don't think he can have enough of a run to help. But now it seems the 13 is going to win the stage.
I wouldn't count it out too late here. If the O2 gets enough of a push by the 50, as he's now 50 to the outside. Yakovazi trying to make something work. He can't. He can't move up. 50's there and coming to the line. The 13 of Invisani is going to take the halfway victory.
Very exciting finish there. Just 3-4 cars, but
and I like
congrats
how
to Victor winning the halfway.
Yeah, Victor winning the halfway. And I do like how kind of Ryan's kind of stepped back there, let those three go at it. Your top three will be Invisani, Teague, and then the 50 of Yakovazi. Behind them, the 87 of Sebastian Kukulon will be fourth. Eddie Kalegi will then round out your top five. And if you're new here and you're kind of confused why you're seeing everyone go around, whenever there is a caution, all lap cars or cars 1 lap down or more are allowed to get that 1 lap back, and only 1 lap back. So if you're 2 down, you can get 1 back, and you'll be still 1 down. As under pace, they are taking the Lamaze chicane. Reminiscent of OTC. And we're going to get pit stops. So Lyle, what's kind of the pit strategy for these guys? Do you kind of gamble, try to take 2? If you're those guys who pit before the caution, you come back down to top off? You know, what's the strategy looking like?
No, you definitely do not take 2. I think you want to have, the freshest tires as possible, just because it's halfway, everyone's going to pit. Want to get all your pressures up. I don't think with enough time, since you only pit like a total of 2 or 3 times, probably just 2 this race, just to the final stop. But yeah, take 4, take full fuel if you want, just have that.
And now these truckers are going in. Expect about the back 4 to stay out. We see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Look, you see the 4 trucks who did pit under that cycle now staying out. They're all working with each other, and I gotta say, good before all that chaos again. The leader could stay out front if they just had a guy willing to stay behind them. We saw that in DePiso, and Teague. Once those teammates got hooked up, they were able to just stay front back, and that's what got those 1-2 at 1 point, and both of them inside the top 5. Again, until that cycle of stops. The race off the pit road will be led by Victor Imbasani, and then Yakovazi will come off second, Colin Teague will come off third, Eddie Kalegi
soon. There's also just some news during the race. We got Victor officially going full time, so he's someone to look out for in this season, as he currently will be leading the points now.
Well, that makes sense for Imbasani, as he just won the stage. So I guess we kind of put 2 and 2 together when we were kind of confused on why he did stay out, not pit with the rest of them. And with the choose cone, all those guys working together choose the inside line.